Have you ever felt like the world was against you? Like no matter what you did, no matter how hard you tried, life kept pushing you down, daring you to quit? This is the story of Ethan, a boy who had every reason to give up, but instead chose to survive, to fight, and to rise beyond. Ethan grew up in a forgotten corner of Liverpool, in a crumbling block of flats where broken windows rattled in the wind and sirens filled the night. His father had disappeared long before he could understand what the word dad meant, and his mother worked double shifts just to scrape together enough for rent. Some nights there was food, some nights there wasn't. At school, Ethan was the quiet one. His clothes were old, his shoes worn thin. The other kids teased him, called him charity case, laughed when he sat alone at lunch. Teachers barely noticed him. The world had already written him off as another lost cause. And slowly, Ethan began to believe it too. But there was one thing he couldn't ignore: his mother's eyes. Every night, no matter how tired she was, she looked at him with a fire that said, "Don't give up. Not yet." That look kept him alive. The breaking point came one winter. Their electricity was cut off. Ethan came home to a freezing flat, his mother crying quietly at the kitchen table, surrounded by unpaid bills. He saw her shiver, her hands trembling as she tried to hold it together. Something inside him snapped. He swore to himself that night, "This will not be our story forever. I will fight for more." He didn't have money, he didn't have connections. He didn't even have confidence, but he had one thing: desperation. And sometimes, desperation is the strongest fuel of all. Ethan started small. He worked odd jobs, cleaning, lifting, stacking shelves. Every coin he earned went into a jar, his silent investment in a better future. When his friends wasted time, he worked. When they laughed at him, he stayed quiet and pushed harder. He ran in the mornings, lifting bricks in abandoned lots to build his strength, training his body while training his mind. The world didn't notice him, but he was preparing. Still, life tested him. His mother got sick. Hospital visits, long nights, fear clawing at his chest. Ethan thought about quitting, thought about surrendering to the weight of it all. But every time he wanted to give up, he remembered the cold night, the unpaid bills, the promise he made to himself. So he doubled down. He studied late at night under flickering streetlights, borrowed books, learned skills, taught himself the things school never gave him. Knowledge became his weapon. Hardship became his teacher. And slowly, piece by piece, Ethan transformed. By 18, he had saved enough to start something of his own. A small survival gear shop online. People laughed. "What do you know about business? You're just a kid from the flats." But Ethan didn't care. He stayed up nights packing orders, answering customers, learning from every mistake. His tiny business began to grow. But success is never straight. Thieves broke into his storage. Orders got delayed. Customers complained. He lost nearly everything he had built, and for a moment he felt crushed. He wanted to give in, but then he remembered the freezing flat, his mother's tears, his promise. He stood back up. He rebuilt. Ethan didn't just survive, he adapted. Every failure became fuel. Every loss became a lesson. And as the years passed, his small survival shop became a brand. His brand became a company, and his company became a movement. He was no longer the invisible boy. They called him the fighter, the survivor, the man who refused to quit. The world that once mocked him now celebrated him. He was invited to speak on stages, to share his journey. And when he looked out at those audiences, he saw faces just like his younger self, tired, beaten, invisible. To them, he said, "Listen to me. Your story's not over. Your pain is not your ending. It is your beginning. Every night you cry, every rejection, every laugh thrown at you is building your strength. You may feel small now, but small fires can grow into infernos. And when the world tells you that you can't, look them dead in the eye and say, "Watch me." Ethan's story is not about business. It's not about money. It's about survival. About taking every scar, every failure, every ounce of pain and turning it into power. So if you are listening to this right now, feeling like you have nothing left, remember Ethan. Remember the freezing nights, the laughter, the failures. And remember this, he rose. And so can you. Your pain is your weapon. Your struggle is your strength. And your time is coming.